First, disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or associated with any medical profession. The reason I'm making this video is to raise awareness as part of our vision at MONET. Our vision is to stop the silent misdiagnosis. Misdiagnosis happens with shocking regularity, as much as 44% of the time, depending on the illness. The first and most important step in reducing misdiagnosis is to acknowledge that misdiagnosis can happen. The patient should actively take responsibility for their health. As an example, patients need to be involved and engaged in their own health care, or a patient should never be afraid to ask the doctor about his conditions and inquire, what else could this be? I'll give you 5 tips backed by research to avoid misdiagnosis. I'll provide all the references to my research in the description box below. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm only raising awareness about misdiagnosis. Number 1, you should know your family history and remind it to your doctor too. Number 2, ask questions. In fact, don't be afraid to ask questions. Your doctor may typically see as many as 40 patients a day, spending 15 minutes or less with each of the patients. It's all too easy to be referred to a specialist and start treatment without having all of your questions answered. But asking questions won't just make you feel more comfortable, it can also disrupt your doctor's thought process and make him think about your case in a way that may save your life. Number 3, don't just assume technology can save you. What I mean is, if I had to pick between getting a high-tech test and a doctor who will spend an hour talking to me, thinking about my case and putting all of the pieces together, the research says I should pick the doctor. Number 4, don't always trust the tests. Some tests, like a review of pathology, can be wrong more than 40% of the time. Why? Because interpreting these tests is a matter of judgment and experience. There are lots of diseases that can look like something else, and that's where clinical judgment and experience are essential. Doctors see results as coming straight from God, but just because a test gives you a yes or no answer doesn't mean it's right. Number 5, the last one is pretty obvious. Get a second opinion, but not just any kind of second opinion. You need the doctor to look at your case from scratch, to learn about your symptoms in your own words, and to think about your case without being influenced by the conclusions of your original doctor. Don't say, I was seen by Dr. X and he tells me I have meningitis and need treatment. Why? What do you think? Instead, describe your symptoms, tell him about your family history, the tests you have done, and help him come to his own conclusions about what's wrong with you.